Hook up a router to a laptop and printer. If you have a laptop, you can connect to a printer using a router. The router will function as the information relay center between the computer and the printer, and is especially effective if you have multiple computers or laptops at home. Instead of plugging the printer into a different laptop each time you need to print some documents, you can simply use the router to make the printer accessible to multiple terminals. Plug in the cable. First of all, you need to plug in the Ethernet cable from the router to the printer. The Ethernet cable is a distinctive cord that usually comes with a square end that is connected to the Ethernet port in the router. In most cases, the Ethernet cable will only fit the Ethernet port, which by itself will give you an idea of whether you are inserting the cable into the right port. If you need a diagram of the Ethernet port, however, you can search for images from the internet. Next, take another Ethernet cable and use it to connect the router with the laptops that you want to include in the network. Turn on the devices. Next, turn on all of the devices connected to the router, including the router itself. Once you have opened the computer and the printer, the computer should be able to recognize if a device is attached to it or not, using the plug-and-play functions that are installed in most laptop computers. Once the laptop computer has recognized the device, it will ask for the installation of the software needed to run the printer. Installation. To install the software, you will need to take the installation CD that comes with the printer. This should be placed in the optical drive in the laptop. Usually, the installation CD will play automatically and will present you with the Internet Explorer dialog box. All you will need to do is to follow the instructions in the dialog box. After you have finished installing the software, click the Finish button and then remove the installation CD. Testing. Once the software has been installed in all of the laptops that you plan to network with the printer, you should be able to start printing. As a precaution, however, you should try to test print a page from each laptop terminal connected to the network, just to be sure. Do this by clicking on the Control panel and looking for the Printers and Fax tab. Select Printer and then proceed to making a test page. If needed, you may also want to clean the nozzles in the printer. Wireless connections. There are also printers that have wireless capabilities. This means that you can connect it to a wireless router. Simply turn on the wireless functions of the printer and proceed with step 2 as usually. With these steps, You should be able to connect your various laptop terminals at home to a single printer, and use the single printer for printing all of the documents in the various laptops.